Hello, I'm Richard Proudman and thank you for joining us today here at Bachmann Europe HQ as we present our summer British Railway announcements. It was only a few days ago that you joined us here for our special unveiling of Holy War, the new Quarry Hunslet from Bachmann Narrow Gauge, and we'll have more on that in a moment. But today we'll see our biggest British Railway announcements to date, so we really better get on with it, haven't we? Spring saw both the Model of the Year Awards and the British Railway Modelling Awards, organised by Model Rail and BRM RM Web respectively, unveil the models that their readers voted as the best releases of 2022. In the Model Rail Awards, Bachmann took a clean sweep in all of the N scale and 009 scale categories, whilst for 00 scale the Caledonian 812, the all-new Class 37 diesel and the new Bully coaches all received prizes. It was a similar theme in the British Railway Modelling Awards, with gold for the Bachmann Narrow Gauge Mainline Hunslet and Graham Farish Class 90. And the brand was also named as N Manufacturer of the Year. A host of silver and bronze prizes were also awarded during a ceremony at the London Festival of Railway Modelling, and we would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that voted for Bachmann in either set of awards. In April, we were finally able to visit the North Eastern Locomotive Preservation Group and their locomotive Joem, which is undergoing a major overhaul at the group's Hopetown Works in Darlington. The subject of a Bachmann Collectors Club limited edition release in 2020, the group was presented with models and a cheque. Combined with the proceeds from sales of the model to group members, Bachmann has now helped to raise more than £1,600 to help return Joem to steam. The locomotive's overhaul is progressing well and is due to be completed in time for the 200th anniversary celebrations of the Stockton and Darlington Railway, which take place in 2025. Our thanks to every club member that purchased Joem, enabling us to make this donation. St George's Day saw us answer the question of many narrow gauge crusaders when we announced our next new 009 scale Quarry Hunslet locomotive, Holy War. In collaboration with our launch partners at Bala Lake Railway, Holy War was announced ahead of their Welcome Back Alice and Holy War event, which took place over the weekend and saw both locomotives return to traffic after overhaul. If you haven't already indulged, the Bachmann Narrow Gauge model of Holy War is available to purchase from the Bala Lake Railway now, so follow the link below and head to their website to purchase yours. Our event team have been as busy as ever during the spring months, with trips to Glasgow, London and York, to name just a few, and the circus doesn't stop as our next outing is in less than 2 weeks' time when we're heading back to York, and this time it's the N Gauge Society's celebration of N Gauge modelling, which takes place at the National Railway Museum on the 13th and 14th of May. Come along and see for yourself all of the N-scale models we announced today, alongside the latest developments from Graham Farish. The full range of Bachmann Collectors Club N-scale models will also be on display and available to purchase during the event. Talking of the Collectors Club, and it's time to reveal our first new models for summer 2023 as we introduce 3 new Bachmann Collectors Club limited editions. For N-scale, we are delighted to reveal the London Transport Class 20 pairing of Sir John Betjeman and Sherlock Holmes. Each locomotive carries its own unique style of the London Transport lime maroon livery. Our third limited edition model for the summer is for 00 scale, and for this we've teamed up with our friends at the Bahamas Locomotive Society to produce a model of the support coach used with their Jubilee class locomotive, Bahamas. The Mark IIA Brake First Corridor coach is finished in BR Maroon livery as number M14060. Both the pair of 20s and the support coach can be ordered from the Bachmann Collectors Club website today. On Sunday the 21st of May, the Bachmann Collectors Club Practically Perfect sale makes its return at the Great Central Railway's Cornham Woodhouse station. Just one of the many benefits available to club members, the Practically Perfect sale gives members the chance to purchase refurbished or reconditioned items from across the Bachmann ranges at up to half their original price. We're also working with the GCR to lay on additional attractions, and club members can enjoy discounted train travel to make a full day of their visit. Our members enjoy these and many other benefits, so if you're not already a member, why not head to the Bachmann Collectors Club website and start your journey with us today. One highlight from the London Festival of Railway Modelling was the unveiling for the first time of livery samples for the EFE Road Cravens RT. With 4 models to start with, these initial releases are due to arrive later this year, and having seen the livery samples, We think these highly anticipated models are going to be worth the wait indeed. Let's take a look at the new items we have in store for you this summer, shall we? And we'll stay with EFE to kick things off. We've gone big for EFE Rail this summer, but we start with the smallest first, and it's in N scale where we welcome the Clay Tigers. Bringing the PBA Tiger wagon to N scale for the first time, these large, imposing wagons were built for China Clay traffic in the early 1980s, and not only ran in block trains, but were a distinct feature of Speedlink workings and could be seen from Cornwall to Scotland and many places in between. 4 models will be released in the original white livery carried by the PBAs, with markings for both English China Clays and the wagon leasing company Tiger Rail. 2 of the models sport a pristine finish, whilst the other 2 are weathered. In later life, the wagons were modified to work on the continent. Changes included the fitting of train ferry tie-down points and strengthening of the soul bars, and both modifications are captured accurately on these new EFE Rail models. The later versions carry ECC blue livery with tip hook rail branding, the company that took ownership of the wagons when Tiger Rail went bankrupt in 1992. Now working to mainland Europe via the Dover-Dunkirk train ferry and in later years via the Channel Tunnel, as well as in the UK, 4 models are available in this later condition, and again, 2 have a pristine finish and 2 are weathered. We move up a scale next to 00, but we're sticking with the China Clay theme as we introduce the PRA China Clay wagons. Another prototype that entered traffic in the mid-1980s and worked between Cornwall and Scotland, these 4-wheel covered wagons were a quintessential feature of Speedlink services. 6 models are offered, 3 depict the wagons in early condition as they entered traffic with an all-over grey colour scheme and red roof, whilst the other 3 showcase the wagons in their later livery after the underframes, headstocks and buffers had been painted black. Also for 00 scale we have 2 further releases of the Pacers. The first of these 2 car diesel multiple units depicts Class 143, number 143001, in original BR Provincial Blue livery with destination displays for Newcastle and Middlesbrough. The second is a Class 144, number 144003, in the red and cream BR West Yorkshire Passenger Transport Executive livery operating between Leeds and Skipton. Our final EFE Rail announcement this summer is our biggest yet, certainly in terms of size, as we introduce our first O-scale models from EFE Rail with the superb Class 15 diesel locomotive. One of British Rail's pilot scheme designs, 44 of these Type 1 diesels were built by the Yorkshire Engine Company and the Clayton Equipment Company to a British Thomson Houston design. These EFE Rail models are powered by a 3-pole motor with twin flywheels, have a Plux22 DCC decoder interface and are fitted with a twin speaker system, ready for you to add a DCC sound decoder if you wish. At each end you will find pre-fitted, etched headcode discs which can be positioned opened or closed to display your desired headcode, and behind which headcode lights are fitted. 8 models will be available. Just like the real locomotives, all wear BR Green livery, and we start with a pair in all over green, number D8201, which has green soul bars and battery boxes, and D8215, with black soul bars and battery boxes. Both carry the BR8 crest on their cab sides. Next we have number D8200 and D8204, in all over green with BR8 crests too. However, these 2 machines also have their running numbers applied to each of the nose ends. Our penultimate pair have been adorned with small yellow warning panels at each end. These are D8234 and D8219, and both carry BR8 crests and have black soul bars and battery boxes. The final duo each sport full yellow ends, and D8235 is notable here as it carries the double arrow logo of British Rail on each cab side. D8239 is our final Class 15, with BR8 crests, green soul bar and black battery boxes and buffer beams. Next we have new additions to our Scenecraft range of buildings, structures and accessories. Every Scenecraft model is expertly moulded, finely detailed and hand painted to produce a miniature delight that is ready to place on your layout or diorama straight from the box. Our new Scenecraft products for summer are dominated by 00 scale offerings. Continuing the trend of models based on Great Central Railway prototypes, we have the GCR mess room. Available with green woodwork or red and cream, the model is based on the building found at the end of Loughborough Central Station. Rothy Cabin is our next subject, the perfect accompaniment to our GCR station buildings. and this wooden signal box is modelled in its green livery as visitors today would see it, or in maroon and cream as it was in BR times, prior to its relocation in the preservation era. Two colour schemes are also available on the line side brick substation, an essential structure for anyone modelling electrified lines, and the model comes with green doors or black doors. The pair of straight platforms provide a ready-made platform when used with the separate ramps, onto which the platform booking office, or these three concourse machines, will sit perfectly. If you have multiple platforms, then passengers will need a means of crossing from one to another. The covered metal footbridge is just the ticket, and this fine model is available in a red and cream colour scheme, or with this delightful blue and cream paintwork. Railway maintenance facilities will be enhanced by the Loco Maintenance Crane, suited to locomotive, carriage and wagon workshops, or for something a little bigger, the depot crane will make an impressive addition, providing greater lifting capabilities for your miniature world. The gatekeeper's cottage looks like a lovely place to call home, and this model is now offered in two colour schemes, with green doors, fascias and barge boards, or with this woodwork in red instead. If you're planning a garden for your gatekeeper too, then the metal workman's hut could be used to store their tools and gardening equipment. Or this model could be equally at home on the line side or at a depot or yard. When it comes to providing locos with water, the NER water column is a great choice, particularly so for any layout set in the northeast. Further dwellings are catered for with our new range of low-relief bay terrace houses. The left-hand bay is available with either a blue or green door, while the right-handed version has either a black or a red door. Use several of these buildings, together with the terrace courtyard entrance, to create a low-relief backdrop in minimal space. The pillbox is an iconic sight across the UK, and this Scenecraft model pays homage to it, allowing you to include this wartime defence in your layout or diorama. Wagon loads round up our Scenecraft offerings this summer, with this tarpaulin covered tractor and plough, a pack of 2 steel plate loads, and the pack of 4 sand loads, suitable for the Branchline 13-ton sand tippler wagons. Our sole N-scale Scenecraft model this time is also a load. These deep coal loads come in a pack of 4 and make it easier to model fully laden coal wagons. For our OO Scale Bachmann Branchline range, it is an all-diesel affair this summer. Let's start with the Class 20s, and we are delighted to reveal the identities of the next 3 models to be produced from our all-new Class 20 tooling, which first aired in 2021. Today's first model depicts number D8133, a locomotive fitted with headcoat boxes and decorated in BR green livery, with small yellow panels at each end. Next is number 20072, fitted with headcoat discs. This loco carries BR blue livery with a beautiful weathered finish. The trio is completed by 20010, another disc headcoat machine which sports the eye-catching red, yellow and grey livery of BR Rail Freight Red Stripe. Featuring a wealth of detail that really brings these models to life, all 3 Class 20s are also available with sound fitted for that extra touch of realism. Directional lights are all present and correct, along with cab lighting too, and with a speaker fitted to all versions. Should you not opt for a sound fitted model, then it's simple enough to fit your own sound decoder at a later date via the Plux22 DCC decoder socket. Class 37's next, and the vast suite of tooling for the new Bachmann Branchline model continues to be showcased with 2 further additions to the range. Number 37305 is finished in BR blue livery and sports central headcoat panels which display domino headcoats. This English electric built loco still has its original buffer beam valances and is fitted with oleo buffers. The lack of steam heating capability, evidenced by the blanked boiler port, plated bodyside steps and sealed water for the door, plus the plating of the gauges on the water tank, which has been converted to a fuel tank, makes 37305 particularly suited to freight work. The fabricated bogies are fitted with an original speedo drive and mileage counter. Joining 305 is another English electric machine, number 37262, Dun Ray. Carrying the all-over grey livery of the engineers' fleet, Dun Ray's central headcoat panels have been plated and fitted with marker lights, whilst a Scottish car headlamp is fitted at the top of the nose. The buffer beam valances have been removed, but oleo buffers remain, and whilst the bodyside steps have been plated and the water filler door sealed, Dun Ray retains its open boiler port and the original fuel and water tanks are carried. A water filler valve is also present. Running on fabricated bogies, the original Speedo drive is fitted. As ever with our new Class 37s, both models will be available in three formats: Standard, Sound Fitted and Sound Fitted Deluxe. With all models featuring a wealth of detail, much of which is prototype specific, Sound Fitted models also benefit from a pre-fitted Zemo DCC sound decoder. Loaded with one of 4 unique sound projects, depending on the particular locomotive being modelled, these sounds can be enjoyed whether the model is used on analog control or DCC. Our award-winning Sound Fitted Deluxe specification takes the realism to the next level, with all the benefits from a sound fitted model, plus a motorised roof fan driven by a second independent motor and tinted windscreen glazing, replicating the finish of the windscreens on the real locomotives. Moving now to something a little bigger, we are delighted to introduce new models of the BR Class 40 diesel locomotive. With models of preserved locomotive Andania promised by Bachmann Branchline for some time, we've taken the opportunity to suitably enhance the Branchline Class 40 with a new twin speaker setup, Plus 22 DCC decoder interface, and new lighting control for DCC. With these upgrades complete and Andania soon to arrive, let's see what other Class 40s you can look forward to this summer, each of which will be available in standard format or with sound fitted. In original condition with disc head codes is number D292. This locomotive carries all over BR green livery with BR Lake crest on the body side. Number 40097 is another disc head code locomotive, this time in BR blue livery with the British Rail double arrow logo below each cab side window. Completing a trio of disc head code examples is number 40039. Although still in BR green livery, the tops number and full yellow ends place this model firmly in the 1970s, and as such, suitable weathering has been applied to capture the worn and tired state of this loco's once pristine BR green livery. Last but by no means least is number 40063. Fitted with headcode boxes, you could be mistaken for thinking this was just another blue 40 with headcode boxes, but the reality is that for this model, we've produced totally new ends accurately capturing the look of a batch of Scottish region locos that were built with disc headcodes, but later had headcode boxes fitted. These locos had several distinct differences to those built with headcode boxes from new, the type already modelled by Bachmann Branchline. First, the box itself has square corners as opposed to the smoother, curved corners of the standard Class 40 headcode box. There are no handrails either side of or above the box. And finally, the bottom lip of the nose end is not flat. Instead, it is deeper in the middle, a hangover from the once present communication doors that were removed when the boxes were fitted. Our model of 40063 carries BR blue livery, with the BR double arrow logo appearing once on each side below the driver's cab window. Our final OO Scale model this summer sees the return of the Class 70 in the stunning Colas Rail Freight livery. The vibrant yellow, orange and black scheme of Colas Rail Freight is littered with logos and safety warnings, and we've spared no expense in capturing this stunning livery and the myriad associated printed details to bring this current day locomotive to your model railway. Finished as number 7811, the Branchline Class 70 will now be available with or without sound fitted too. We end today in N Scale and our Graham Farish range, which somewhat dominates our summer announcements with a plethora of new models, including new tooling, due to hit the shelves in the coming months. Starting with motive power and the highly anticipated BR Standard Class 5 MT, which is undergoing upgrades to allow sound-fitted models to be offered, will be appearing in several guises. The previously announced models of number 73109, which is coupled to a BR1B tender and finished in lined BR black with early emblem, and 73050 with BR1 tender in lined BR black with late crest, will now each be available with sound fitted, in addition to the standard models announced some time ago. New for summer 2023, we also have number 73006, with the BR1 tender and carrying lined black with late BR crests. A final example for now is number 73065. This loco is coupled to a BR1C tender and is adorned with BR lined black livery and early emblem. Both will be produced with or without sound. The LMS IVET 2MT has also been through the works, and we can now unveil this model with new sound-fitted options. Each of the following locomotives will be available in standard format, with Next 18 DCC interface and a pre-fitted speaker, or with sound fitted. And first is number 6418 in LMS Black. For the early BR period, we have number 46474 carrying lined BR Black, whilst number 46521 carries BR lined green, resembling the prototype which is preserved at the Great Central Railway. Another preserved loco completes the lineup, this time number 46447 in BR lined black with late crest. The sole addition to the diesel fleet this summer is this sound-fitted version of the GBRF Class 60, number 60095. Graham Farish rolling stock formed the mainstay of our spring end-scale announcements, when wagons were the order of the day, and that rolling stock trend continues today, but with many coaches and more wagons making a welcome return this summer. Let's start with the coaches, and the ubiquitous BR Mark 1 is back. Carrying BR Crimson and Cream livery, we have the Taurus Second Open, available with a choice of 2 running numbers, the second corridor and the composite corridor. The restaurant miniature buffet will also be available in Crimson and Cream, along with a brake second corridor, a brake composite corridor and a brake gangway coach. BR Maroon livery is next, and we have the Taurus Second Open and second corridor vehicles, each with a choice of 2 running numbers. The composite corridor is also produced with 2 running numbers, alongside the restaurant miniature buffet, brake second corridor and a brake gangway vehicle, a perfect addition to both a passenger rake or parcels train. British Railways Western Region rekindled its GWR roots when it started out shopping Mark 1 coaches in chocolate and cream, and this livery adorns 2 Taurus Second Opens and 2 second corridor coaches. In the same livery we have the composite corridor and the restaurant miniature buffet, and again each is available with a choice of 2 running numbers. From the mid-1960s, Mark 1s received BR Blue and Grey livery, and in these colours we have 2 Taurus Second Opens and 2 second corridors, each with different running numbers. The composite corridor is also produced in blue and grey, alongside the restaurant miniature buffet, brake second corridor and the brake gangway coach. Hundreds of Mark 1s remain in use today, and some still work on the main line with charter companies like West Coast Railway Company. Their maroon livery adorns 2 Taurus Second Open vehicles, along with a restaurant miniature buffet and a brake second corridor. Network Rail's bold yellow livery is applied to this brake composite corridor coach, whilst the Sea-Link livery is another admissible paint scheme, and this second corridor will help those who have already bought our Sea-Link coaches to bolster their rates. Next we move on to the BR Mark 2F coaches, and 3 more models in BR Blue and Grey livery will be released. 2 are Taurus Second Opens, whilst the third is a brake second open. The Mark 2Fs will also be released in the BR Intercity Swallow scheme for the first time, providing the perfect stock to match the new Graham Farish Class 90s. 5 models will be released, 2 Taurus Second Opens, a first open and 2 brake second opens. Virgin Trains livery adorns the Mark 2Fs as well, again providing appropriate rolling stock for the recent Class 90s along with the forthcoming Class 47 from Graham Farish. The Taurus Second Open and brake second open are each offered with a choice of 2 running numbers, alongside a first open. Heading north of the border, and these ScotRail Saltire liveried models are a must for anyone with a fancy for Scottish models. The Taurus Second Open and brake second open will each be available with 2 different running numbers. 2 Network Rail yellow liveried models round up our new coaches for summer 2023. One is a Taurus Second Open, which forms part of the structure gauging train, whilst the other, a brake second open, is simply numbered 9523. The wagons keep on rolling this summer, and first up is the 45-ton TTA tank wagon, and for each TTA, 2 running numbers are available per livery. We start with 2 models in black livery on which the distinctive Shell and BP logos are carried, whilst for our next pairing we have 2 grey wagons with Total branding. White wagons are less common, but this was the colour scheme adopted by ICI Petrochemicals, while the vibrant red livery is adorned by Charrington Hargreaves and Mobile markings for our final pair of tankers. The HAA coal hoppers are next, and again 2 running numbers are available for each. The silver hoppers are carried in BR Rail red cradles for our first pairing, whilst these two models depict more modern times with the cradle carrying EWS branding. Our final HAAs have a weathered finish. Along with their rail freight red cradles, this pair also carry Barry logos. A pair of HCA hoppers with their covered tops are finished with Transrail markings, whilst this HFA, another covered hopper, has mainline freight stickers added to its former rail freight coal sector branding and benefits from a weathered finish. Coal transportation during the early BR era was dominated by the 16-ton mineral wagon, and today we have new additions to the range, including this example in BR grey with tops numbers. Sporting a weathered finish is this model in earlier BR grey livery, complete with top flap doors. A choice of 2 running numbers will be available. 2 numbers are also carried by this BR bauxite version. Both have tops markings. Rounding off the 16 tonners for now is this triple pack, all of which have top flap doors, carry BR grey livery, have a weathered finish and are supplied with a load. Our final new liveries for summer 2023 adorn the OBA Open Wagon. These 3 new releases each depict the lower ended variants and carry unbranded EWS livery, BR Rail Freight red and grey, and Freight brown with rail freight markings. All 3 are available with a choice of 2 running numbers. We have one new accessory for the Grey & Farish range today too. This is the clip-in coupling pocket with short clips, ideal to help keep your cherished models running for many years to come. We conclude today with our final new tooling announcement. After the MXA lobster wagons were revealed for OO Scale in the spring, today we are delighted to announce their N-scale cousins as part of the Grey & Farish range. Built for DB cargo in the last decade, we have 2 models on their way, each carrying DB's bright red livery. With one example fitted with traditional brake blocks and a brake lever, and the other sporting disc brakes, why not choose both to add a bit of variety to your modern freight trains? Well, that wraps up our summer British Railway announcements. Were you counting? That's 178 new items unveiled today and arriving with Bachmann retailers in the next few months. Remember to head to the Bachmann website where you'll find projected release dates for all of these new items, plus those from our spring announcements that haven't quite yet arrived, but they'll also be hitting shelves in the next few weeks. Plus other items from our previous announcements which are also coming through. And on the Bachmann website you can also find your local Bachmann stockist, where they'll be happy to take orders for any of these new items that you've seen today. We look forward to meeting many of you at forthcoming events, including the Bachmann Collectors Club Practically Perfect Sale, which takes place in just a couple of weeks' time. We'll be back here for more British Railway announcements in a few months. So until then, thanks for tuning in today, and remember to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel and you'll be the first to know about all our new videos. Thank you, goodbye.